Hello, welcome to the MRO show presented by Chadwell Supply. I'm your host, Rebecca Wagner. Chadwell Supply is 100% dedicated to the multifamily industry. Your order is on our truck delivered the next day. Learn more at chadwellsupply.com. As an industry, multifamily is in the middle of some significant shifts. One of those changes is how and where owners and operators are managing maintenance teams. Centralization of maintenance is a hot topic in multifamily. Here to help us understand the benefits and challenges, I'd like to welcome Katelyn Utsey, Vice President of H2 Real Estate, to the MRO show. Welcome, Katelyn. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Tell us a
Happy to
little
be
bit about
here.
yourself. Tell us
Okay.
how you got in the industry.
I was born into it. So my mom is an owner operator. She's been doing real estate in Birmingham for a little over 40 years now, and started out as a leasing consultant about 15 years ago. Worked my way up. So have been in the assistant manager role, property manager role, regional role, and now in the VP role. So
That's amazing. Congratulations.
thank you.
That's a career
Thank
right
you.
there.
Yes. So it's been a part of my entire life. You know, I remember, growing up and mom, there being a fire and us having to get up and go handle it. And had to do that with my son not too long ago. So it's interesting. It's full
Really?
circle, but I really enjoy it. And the past few years have been extremely interesting. I feel grateful to know both sides of the industry, we'll call it, before COVID and after. So,
Yes.
and that's why we're having this conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the centralization piece, but yeah.
Very, very good. Well, historically, Katelyn, how has multifamily managed maintenance in the past, and how do you see it changing in the future?
I feel like, our goal has always been, the resident experience, of course, cash flow as well, getting the work orders done in a timely manner, making sure preventative maintenance is, where it needs to be being maintained and analyzed, because that plan doesn't look the same year over year. And making sure, when we're turning the apartments, that they're being turned well, to start that resident experience out in a good direction, and to reduce work orders down the line. So, overall, then and now, the goal is resident satisfaction, resident retention, reduce expenses and increase income. But it is changing a lot. COVID taught us a lot,
Right.
of how many team members we do need on site. But it's not as easy as it sounds to just eliminate team members without the right technology, robust technology and software platforms to support that.
Yeah.
But the way of the future is centralization. It is not a trend. It is happening. I feel extremely lucky. The company that I represent, we are completely centralized. So we have 189 properties.
And you're 100% centralized. What if you had to add like a roundabout number? What do you think as an industry? How much would you guess is centralized versus not?
So that's an interesting question, because I think of it more of individual properties, how much of their operation is centralized. It's hard to say now as an industry what the percentage of management groups are completely centralized. It's low.
Okay.
It's low. And it's been nice to see that it's not increasing too quickly.
Right.
That the
Slow and steady. Right.
And strategic, the groups that are moving towards centralization, they are not getting clouded by, hey, we can save a lot of money really quickly.
Right.
Payroll is
Right.
the quickest way to get cash in your pocket, cut jobs. So it's nice to see that they're being strategic about it and saying, hey, if we do eliminate this role or that role, what technology do we bring in to support us there? Because it's not as easy as just pull the on-site teams
Sure.
off the sites and move forward. You have to have the technology to support you.
So you bring up the financial aspect, but what are some other benefits of the centralized maintenance?
We have there are benefits, and right alongside a good deal of challenges too. Again, I'm excited to learn about those and really lead the way with the challenges, because that's what helps us learn. But benefits for me, as in my role, I think there's different benefits for each role.
Okay.
Is data driven decision making, to really have, again, the robust software to help us understand, this technician completes these types of work orders in this amount of time. Do we need to get him training so that he can, be more well-rounded and serve us better? So that is one benefit. Better forecasting and preventative maintenance is another benefit. Improved efficiency and consistency is one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then uniform quality and predictable outcomes.
Yeah.
And again, having everything within the software centralized, moving across the same on every property, because I have 189 properties.
Wow.
So having the warehouse, we have about a 30,000 square foot warehouse where all of our tools and supplies are housed, keeping it organized there, having the space to store appliances so we're ready, when something goes out. We're not having to order it and wait, which you guys get it to us the next day.
We try to be there for you.
That,
yeah,
it's interesting and fun. One of the challenges, and I'll just move to that, is the biggest fear is the lack of human interaction. And I think that we address that, we acknowledge it. We acknowledge that is a fear. And my best advice, and the way I feel like we have been able to centralize as quickly as we can, is understand how your residents want to be communicated with. And it's very different than it was 5 years ago.
Right.
Because we all learned to have some peace, and we didn't enjoy talking to one another as much as we did because we were in our homes for years, we're moved away from that social interaction. So, again, I think we acknowledge it, we address it, we highlight our wins, when that question does come up from an owner or a resident, about human interaction, highlight the wins and how we have made gains on efficiency and getting their work orders done, better, quicker. But that is a hot topic.
You kind of stole my question. I was going to ask you, some challenges, but you definitely touched on that. So what would you say to somebody, an operator that's maybe considering bringing in a centralized maintenance team? What advice would you give? What should they know or question even as they develop this program?
I think I actually wrote down a few, because that's interesting and exciting, that owners are asking questions, and again, just not getting too excited and running with it.
Right.
To save money. So, for me as an owner operator, my top 5 questions, like, what is the operational effectiveness of this? What's what are going to be my startup costs of these software, these platforms?
Right.
The financial impact, resident experience, staff and culture. How does this affect, when you go from 10 team members to 3,
right?
What does that look like? And the short-term effect on the team, as well as the potential PR impact on your ownership group and your management group, because you're cutting jobs. So you're going to have people leaving not happy. So measuring those things, and scalability and risk, understanding if we can do this for my 3 sites in Birmingham, can I do it for my 80 across the country? And fine tuning it and perfecting it when you're implementing it on 3, so that you can continue to analyze a whole operation, a quality centralized operation, and spread that across your other sites. But owners, they ask a lot of questions, and I'm grateful that I'm a lot of times who they ask, because I'm doing it,
Right.
We've scaled back a lot at H2 with employees, and ordering work orders everything, and it's working well. We have two sides of the house. So we have our office downtown for our corporate team, and then we have the maintenance warehouse.
Okay.
And I do need to mention 189 properties are all in Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
So
it's a big market.
Again, perfecting it on a smaller scale.
Yes.
Because the question will be when we acquire more, how do we do this in Michigan? How do we do this in California? What does that look like? So
just kind of how do we recreate that success in every market?
Yeah.
Well, Katelyn, I just want to thank you so much for being on the MRO show today. Is there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I would just say if you have any questions, comments, want to pick my brain about it, I love to talk about it. It's so exciting. Again, I feel so grateful to know multifamily before and after COVID and be a part of the change. But it's nothing to be worried about or scared about. It's fun and going to be really great for owners, operators, and to, the really valuable team members that we have in this industry, reshaping some of those typical on-site roles, and what does that look like for us? So
very good. Well, thank you for your time and helping us unpack some of the benefits and the challenges and things we need to look for as we move forward. And thank you for joining the MRO show. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you please rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast service. And for more episodes, check out the MRO show at chadwellsupply.com/podcast.